Hi, welcome back to 101, everybody. I'm Marie Latino, sitting in for Steve Adubato. Now, Steve has a little problem giving up the spotlight, so today I'm joined with Steve Adubato, MSNBC analyst, host of 101, Emmy Award winner, author, coach, teacher, blah, blah, blah. But most importantly, loving, caring father of 3 of the cutest boys you'll ever see.
Yes,
Steve,
they
how
all
are you?
look like me.
And they all look like you, yes, all carbon copies.
Why am I sitting over here?
You wanted this. You wanted it.
I said find a parent who's got kids involved in sports who is struggling and confused and doesn't have all the answers, and apparently it was me.
Well, apparently it was you, but also you said that there's a big difference between a mother's perspective in dealing with youth sports and a father's perspective. So you're here to bring the father's perspective.
Look, I bet there are a lot of moms out there who are going to say that's absolutely not true. Let me tell you from me. As a kid who played ball and playing ball.
What did you play?
I played football in high school and also in college for a while.
Oh, what position?
I was a wide receiver and a place kicker, and I learned to kick because I realized I was very slow and had pretty good hands. But I knew I needed to know how to do something that would make me stand out. And the irony is that I also played basketball, pickup basketball, and baseball was a big thing for me, even though I was cut by our varsity team in high school, which I never got over.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
And my high school coach yelled at me a lot. Joe Marino, you know who you are, Verona, New Jersey, right? When I was at SS Catholic. You yelled at me, Coach Joe. And I had to deal with all that stuff. And I thought, when I have my kids, happen to be 3 boys, which is interesting, Nicholas, who's 5, Christopher, who's 3, and Stephen, who's 15, all who are interested in sports in one way or another, but all different, I promised myself I would not put pressure on my kids in the way it was put on me. My dad was totally there, but I remember he would say to me, how come you're not as good as so-and-so? I never forgot that. He would name like the kid who was my best friend, was All-American quarterback. He'd say, I bet that kid's dad is really proud when he comes to see him play. Some of the time I was sitting on the bench, it was like, that kills you.
So what do you do with Steven? Now, Steven's much older than Nikki and Chris.
Steven's 15. He started playing baseball. I forced him when he was 6. And
that was a bad move.
You know, it was a bad move the 2nd and 3rd year. The 1st year, I wanted to introduce him to it.
But you agree, you can't force your kids into doing something that they may not be interested in.
Here's the problem. You need to encourage them and push them, but not push the issue to the point where you're forcing them. For me, it broke my heart when I was coaching my son, and he was the least interested kid on the team. The other kids, they were all into it. Steven wasn't interested in it. He had to find something else. Now, he's interested in tennis.
He found
I'm
that
not.
out. Okay, so how did you become interested? Because obviously you have to show at least some sides of interest so you could pay attention to what your kid is doing.
Great example. I drive him to go to tennis. I sign him up in tennis. But then when I go and I play tennis with him this summer in the park, I realized I was getting too competitive. And he was like, Dad, chill out. I'm not having fun.
That's something you can't do.
Can't do. So with Nicholas, who's really into sports, who's 5, he's into hockey and everything. But his thing is, but that's the way he is. Here's what I found. You have to take each kid for who they are and stop trying to make them like the one you want them to be, and stop trying to live your life out through those kids because you didn't get what you want. And I'm sure every parent, mom or dad, is dealing with stuff when they were little kids. It's not fair to the kid. Fun is the rule, and if they're not having fun and you're not supporting it, then the problem's the parent.
Now, do you see that in the parents that are in Nikki's hockey league? Already?
I see wackiness going on.
Already, with the 5-year-olds.
Who's going to be on the Devils? Who's going to be on the Rangers? I'm telling you, I see it. I see it in Little League. I see it in hockey. I see it in Taekwondo. Christopher, our little one, wants to be in Taekwondo. We're going to sign him up. I see parents who think their kid's going to be Bruce Lee. Crazy stuff. It's supposed to be about fun and fitness and camaraderie, and I have to remember that. And when you see another parent freaking out and doing the wrong thing, you can't walk up to them. But boy, if you could, it would make a difference because you want to think about what it's doing to the kid.
Well, Steve, you are a great host, an even better father.
I'm a struggling father.
Oh, you're not struggling. How great is it, though, to share sports with your kids?
There is nothing more exciting than being with your kid and seeing a smile on their face when they're doing something they love, whether it's going to a game, being part of a game, and just having fun and being part of something. Priceless.
It's absolutely priceless. Well, Steve, thank you very much for being a guest on 101 with Steve Adubato.
Look at this. I'm done.
You're
Todd,
done.
I'm out already.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Steve will
be back.
I'm out of here.